What's going on, y'all? It's Bama 365 here. You know what it is. Got it on me all day, every day, just like a lot of y'all probably do. Just wanted to talk about the Rose Bowl from last night. What a great game. What a great build-up to a game. Honestly, can't really remember a build-up to any Alabama game that I've ever been a part of. I've been a fan since 2009, so, I've been very spoiled. But, just with the allegations against Michigan, the narrative that's been talked about Alabama the last couple years, ever since Pete Golding was here and our defense kind of dropped off, kind of all over the place. My mind's definitely, I'm really just been thinking about this game. Shout out to Michigan. You got to give Michigan a lot of credit. They did something that a lot of people down here in the South didn't think they could do, which was out physical us and do what Alabama has been known to do, all these years under Coach Saban. So you got to give a lot of credit to Michigan for that. You don't just do that. That doesn't just happen on its own. Against Alabama, so many mistakes made by both teams is what was wild about this one. I mean, we gave up 6 sacks in the game. I thought it was more like 9, but it felt like it because of all the bad snaps we had to fall on top of. You hate to see mistakes like that pop up on such a big stage like this one. We started to run the ball a lot better in the second half. Jace McClellan was running hard. We brought in the freshman Justice Haynes that Bama fans had been clamoring to hear, clamoring to see since the offseason. And he was running hard. Our receivers really didn't create a lot of space, which kind of did surprise me. But at the same time, it's also, you got to factor in all the pressure they were able to get, all those blitzes. I mean, it was just a very difficult game, offensively for Alabama. Got to give a lot of credit to our defense for holding it down. Deontay Lawson tipped like 4 or 5 passes. It wasn't a perfect game by either team, but, major shout out to Michigan for being able to get it done. That play call at the end of the last play of overtime was not what I was expecting. I kept looking over at my girlfriend right before it happened, and I just kept thinking if we did score, we were going to do what LSU did last year and go for 2 for the win. Just with the way that Michigan had been playing, I think in overtime, I actually feel like the way the game transpired, I think that overtime favored Michigan, the way they were able to run them. We were running the ball effectively too, but Michigan's offense was in a much better rhythm throughout the entire game. Some of their bad plays were just misses. They had one pass go straight through a wide receiver's hands. I mean, I feel like we probably would have gone for the win there. We'll never know, but great game. I think all Alabama fans need to take a moment. I know there's a lot of frustration. I know there's a lot of things that people all around the world, the college football world, say that bothers a lot of Alabama fans. It bothers me too, but I've been a fan since 2009, which means that I am one of the most spoiled Alabama fans on the planet. I think I've experienced only 23 losses. I can't remember if that was our 29th or 30th loss last night under Coach Saban, but I didn't watch any of the first 6 in 2007. It's been a hell of a ride I mean, 2009, 11, 12, 15, 17, and 20, we won national championships. There are programs that have been playing this game for 140, 150 years, basically. Not quite that, I guess 130, whatever you want to call it, that haven't won that in their entirety of their program. We have done it in a 15-year window. You know, it bothers me what people say, but at the end of the day, like, look what this team did this season. This ride this year, I can't remember one quite like it. You know, I think eventually, you know, no matter who you are, at some point when you win so often, you do expect to win. And I think it hit me around the 2021 season, just really how special it had been to have, you know, to win with Greg McElroy, AJ McCarron, Blake Sims, Jake Coker, Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa, Mac Jones, Bryce Young, Jalen Milroe. Look at the things that people were saying this offseason about him. Did he play a perfect game? No. Did he have lapses? Yes. On that fumble play, he was indecisive. He could have thrown it. Could have ran it. He didn't know quite what to do. In all year, he's been doing that thing where he kind of falls back, and you know, it's kind of funny that eventually he was gonna fumble. But I ain't mad at it. That's my guy. That's my quarterback. That's the things that people said. He's like, you know, I'm 26 years old. He's what, 19, 20 years old? Could you imagine, you know, being on that stage? And you know, my heart goes out to all those kids. My heart goes out to Seth McLaughlin. I know that, you know, he had a lot of snaps, and a lot of Bama fans are going to blame him for this loss. And in certain ways, it's okay to critique these players. I get it. But at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. You know, we haven't really experienced any center issues quite like that, at least all my years as a fan. But you know, it is what it is. All great programs have their day too. You know, I think a lot of Bama fans, we wanted to focus on Michigan cheating and what that meant. And I think all of us had that feeling in our heart that we were going to win because Michigan didn't deserve to. Well, that's why they play the game. That's why they play the game. And at the end of the day, Michigan was the better team. They were the more physical team. Doesn't mean we weren't physical, but they were the more physical team. Their scheme offensively, shout out to Jim Harbaugh, to be honest, because it was like the Auburn game, but Michigan's players are just so much better. Like I just kept getting that feel, the way they, you know, misdirections, just every different type of run that they ran. They ran it outside. They attacked us inside. You know, they were tough. They did exactly what they needed to do. You know, shout out to Michigan. Let's make one thing clear. This is Alabama football. We are not done. We are not going anywhere. The fire that's going to be lit inside of Jalen Milroe, y'all saw him slamming his helmet down. We are not going anywhere. We are not going anywhere. Lank, man. Let's fucking go. Roll Tide.